Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Amit. Good morning, Davey. Good morning, Options 22. Good morning, George. All right. How is everyone doing? A little later this morning after yesterday's Fed day, but we still had rate hikes in Europe. Bank of England hiking, Swiss National Bank. We had currency intervention by the Bank of Japan. Lots going on. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Connor. So, we'll get right to it in a second. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term subscribers, come back, leave some comments, and like the videos. All right, let's just get right to the action. Swissy going up 0.5%, 50 basis points for there. Bank of England. Bank of England only going up 50. Lots of people expected 75. So only 50 for the Bank of England. Our jobless claims coming in better than expected for continuing, better than expected for initial. The only other couple key things today: Consumer Board leading index. Watch for that. I'm going to see if it bumps out of contraction, but otherwise, that again is the leading indicator, still forecasting contraction. Will peak in at the Kansas City Fed at 10 Central. Other than that, not much going on. So quieting down in terms of news. Pretty mixed market. Healthcare up. Financials rebounding from yesterday. Oil rallying a bit. Oil bouncing. We have that potential also. New tropical storm forming close to South America, which could target the Gulf Coast. We'll keep an eye on that. We don't have, I mean, the next Fed meeting isn't until the 2nd of November, so we have some time, but it's still favoring the 75 basis point. Still in negative gamma mode. Fear index just checking after yesterday. Not an extreme fear. That's when I start watching for the major bottoms. But we could be getting a bounce after the close. Going to be checking in on Costco today. And then nothing going on tomorrow. What am I looking for? We'll get to some more things in a second. What do you I have no idea. I don't trade PGY. We can look at the chart if we have some time. So, what am I looking for with daily and weekly cycles remind at the bottom? We got still divergences setting up. Nothing's changed on this with this thing, and we have not been able to get the key close below this prior major support. Remember, closing is more important than anything else. So I'm watching for sideways to up for a bit to correct us out of these lows. And another reconnection with the daily rotation zone. Does that mean a rocket ship up? No, that means I have a slight upward bias and we'll be looking for any bullish trades unless we aggressively take out the overnight low. Remember, if we do get any bounce, we should still probability-wise easily return to the 87.5 to 100% range and retest the June lows. Am I expecting that today or tomorrow? No, I am not. But we have to be prepared for both sides of the market and look for our trades. Bank of Japan already intervened, Rich. There was a major intervention. Big reversal in the yen. There was a major intervention. Well, during the day their time, overnight U.S. time. So let's just peek in on the shorter term charts. There, by the way, we start getting especially back above about 38.26. We are still in negative gamma. Not expecting a rip your face off momentum, but we really about 30. I'm going for bumping that down about 38.22. Going into the open above 38.22, 38.45 is the next target. Then we're into the prior sideways consolidation we broke down from yesterday. So there are lots of stopping points in this whole range, roughly between 38.50 and 3900. So that's where we'll see some more key resistance on a bounce. What for my breakdown play, minor is about 38.07, more substantial because we still have some decent buying pressure coming in at 3800. More substantials, we got to start getting back below this 37.86 for a retest. We already bounced off my next harmonic level, 37.71. Below that would be 37.45, but really starting to watch things to get out of this oversold condition. Slight bounce on the 4-hour. The 4-hour cycles at the bottom, daily cycles at the bottom, weekly cycles at the bottom. The key play, my first key play, is watching for any move up into the 4-hour rotation zone and this prior consolidation area. There is no substantial bottoming pattern just yet. We are more trading in. Hold on. And it's not even a decent channel. So there's nothing. If on a breakdown into the open, gonna really be watching this 37.86 level to see if we get some support there. Remember, with cycles at the bottom, we don't have to have a power move back up. You can get sideways to choppy to get out of these oversold conditions and get cycles back to the top. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, Lauren. So, NASDAQ, same thing. I mean, so far we don't have anything set up just yet for even a daily bounce pattern. Doesn't mean you can't bounce, but we don't have anything major set up. Cycles across the board are all the way at the bottom. But we do have those divergences. Going to be watching into the open with the NASDAQ about 11,750. Above there, we have key resistance already tested, 11,800. Then above there, we're back in the consolidation. I will be watching the 4-hour rotation zone. Key support. I'm keying off of on the minor side on a breakdown into the open. This 11,625 to about 11,600. We break below that, then I'm definitely going for the retest of lows. And my major support area is 11,475 to 11,461. Let me move some stuff out of the way here. To reconnect just for the bigger picture, to reconnect over the next couple days with the daily rotation zone could take us back to 921 on the NASDAQ, roughly about 3880, 3900 on the S&P. Dow, pretty much the same story. Don't need to spend a lot of time on this. My breakout level on the Dow is a little clearer, about 30,400. Key support coming in at 30,200. On a rally, then 30,572 to 30,600, and then we're back in the consolidation area. Russell, we're at the same story, but my major resistance in the Russell now, we're bumping this down to about the 1791 to 1800 is key resistance. I will be keying off of for the Russell. The next major levels down, though, we're looking at 1715. DAX, we're getting the bounce off our harmonic, but there's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, we're reacting to some of the rate hikes with the weakening dollar, also with the weakening dollar and the Bank of Japan's intervention. I'm not expecting that to last very long, which is going to get interesting. And they did not release the amount they intervened with. So the DAX, again, is a short-term bounce play back to the rotation zone. Notes, already bouncing off just above the 113.08 level. There's no great buy setup yet. I'm watching still to see if we can get now down to this major or 112 level before establishing anything more. Dollar index, you see this pretty substantial. We had 111.57 so far, 111.58 as the high, pulling back, but this is just, let me raise this now. This, if you take off all the lines and you just go, what do we do? We broke above it, closed below it, but then running back above, retesting the key resistance, becoming support, even on a break below that, even back to 109.85 is still key support with the rising rotation zone. So I think this dollar pullback's going to be short-lived. Yes, at some point we're going to get a slightly bigger pullback or sideways move, especially if Japan on another rally in the yen keeps intervening. However, I'm watching for this key support to hold at least in the short term. VIX. Again, won't get into super bearish mode till back initially above about 28. If we start running above 28, then I'm going to shift more to a bearish mode. Right now, we're mid 27s. Key support, though, coming in at 27.60. We're below that. If we don't take that out, then I'm watching for more of a pullback to the 27 area to see how that support holds. Crude, I'm actually watching for a little mini bottom pattern. We'll be watching for the break above about 87.10. So far, just a sideways consolidation, and that would be aggressive to the upside. Other than that, the only still bigger pattern is this little daily double. That's the only really strong tradable pattern to the upside right now. Here's what I was talking about. This was the Bank of Japan's intervention. Not why, I mean, really. And by the way, this little spike before that took off this potential double. So no potential double, even though we're trading below the key base. It's actually now right back to it. But that double is off the table. Interesting enough, I'm watching actually for this to retrace pretty substantially, and then we're going to see their secondary reaction, how serious they are with this intervention, which means we can get these levels bounced. But watching now just for the retracement of this move with the short-term harmonics. Euro so far basing below key resistance at 99. So not interested in anything with the euro from the bullish side unless it can get a close back above 99. So far just working off the sell, but I'm still watching for some lower euro prices. Bitcoin, then I'll get to some stocks. Bitcoin, any bounce to me, you might get a bigger bounce if we can get the little upward move in the NASDAQ, but other than that, it's going to be another rollover play. Tesla, we'll be today watching for potential quick little mini gap fill. Cannot get bearish on Tesla until below 290, especially with Magical Robot Day coming up on the 30th. And that would just be to a pullback. But if we get some stabilization in the S&P and NASDAQ, can't get overly bearish just yet on Tesla. Key resistance, though, you see all this, you have very strong selling pressure above mid 308s. So keep that in mind. Any rally above 308s, multiple aspects of selling pressure above that. It really needs to get a daily close above 314 to confirm an upside breakout for the bulls. Spiders. By the way, that potential little mini that never trigger. Let's see. Let me update some of these levels from the yesterday range. Your resistance coming in. Let's get to shorter term time frames. I'm just going to be running these sell-off harmonics right here. So I'd be using 378, 88, 380, 37, and then major on any rally is not just for today is 381.50. That's to the upside. Your next key level to the downside is until 374. The Qs. Pretty much the same difference based off this little short-term moves yesterday. So we're, besides the gap fill, looking for the gap fill on the potential open. The key support coming in at 282 at this point. We're at 282.82. So we'll be watching about 281.94 to 282 as key support. Initially off the open, if we get any strength into the open or shortly after the open, I'll be doing watching for the gap fill in this. And then the key levels above there, 284.75. Minor coming in at 285.20, and then a very key level about 286. Just above 286. Why 286? You have a pretty key level right here tested. You have this key gap open to that level. You have it tested yesterday, and you have a 25% harmonic. So that's a level to the upside. That would be a fantastic target or a stop raise level. Then above that, take off these others so we don't get too confusing. Above that, right in front of this 37.5 harmonic, the key area is about 286.90. Hey, Sterling, welcome. Yeah, Jay Powell is speaking again tomorrow. I think he pretty much left everything on the table, but if there's any questions about any doubts he sees, it's still going to be, we're going to hike till inflation's done. He is speaking tomorrow, though. That's a horrible bear flag, Rich. It's not well formed on the NASDAQ. This is not a well formed bear flag. Since we're pulling back going in the open, I'm going 111,625 is the key level support. If we do go down here, now since we can do a little more analysis with the open. Really watch for anything below this 111,611 area. Because we start getting down in that area, we could be getting a little double bottom pattern. It would then be required to take out this 11,796 highs, but that's what I will be watching for. Let's just check that with the S&P. The key level will be 378.83. Now, if we do hold this 50 to 62.5, it means you can't use double bottoms. You are trading into a single candle clear path. However, the challenge with this is you have a breakdown area 384.45 and then another area of 38.64. Sorry, 38.45 and 38.64. This is where it gets challenging on the trading the upside, and it's, from my perspective, is aggressively raising the stops and watching for some more chop on any bounce up into this area. Hey, Ka-er, thank you for being here. That's why I'm not trading these as flag patterns, because they're on the S&P and NASDAQ. These do not test out well as flag patterns. This is just a mess. So far, it's just a return to a breakdown. Now remember, you generally get the first reaction off the higher time frame rotation zones. That's why I'll be really keying off the second reaction on a potential rally back up. Now I know there's another stock listed, then I'll wrap this up. Let's see, something I don't personally look. PGY. Also, if you want to do some more analysis on stock picks, come back after the close. That's when we have more time. Oh, yuck. Again, it's the first thing I look at just to see, based off this run up. Oh. So you're trading. I mean, I know nothing about this company from a financial besides now it's got no earnings and EPS is negative. It's got no P to E ratio. Earnings are negative. The only play is if you're looking, I mean, this is another, it's going to require the pump play, but above about $3 would be the gap fill play. It's going to require some pump though. Your key levels, if you're looking for that to come in above $3, I just use these harmonic levels off this. This is the gap fill harmonics. And before really counting on a gap fill, you'd need a close back above 522. But those are the levels I'd utilize, especially on any pump play. I'd be watching for a potential run to 464 to 522 before another rollover. Other than that, and I would not be just a buyer here because it needs, it's like trading against key support, but there's no great signal. Again, it's going to require that pump play based off just this price action and me not knowing anything else about the company. Bitcoin, I mean, anything with this is with Bitcoin is just going to be another rollover play. Once we get the next major leg down, your key resistance at this point is 19,550. And then above there, it'd be about 20,150. Keep in mind, anywhere up in here, you're just re-entering the prior resistance area and the rollover zone. So that's what I'm watching. It really has to start getting above. If we get a stronger rally in the NASDAQ, it really has to start getting above about 20,400 to get a more substantial move on. We've hit that 87.5. I'm still watching for the next key rollover play in Bitcoin, though. With that, we'll wrap it up. Remember, only consumer board numbers coming in out besides those Kansas City numbers. So consumer board at 9, Kansas City number at 10. Otherwise, it's a very quiet day out there. So we could see some decent consolidation and getting us out of this oversold condition. So if you don't have any strong setups, you know, this is the time to take it easy. And with that, I will be back. There won't be anything at lunchtime today, so I'll be back after the close to do any further analysis. Also, if you want to look at more stocks, bring them back at the after the close live stream, 3:30 Central. Talk to everyone.